Hi everybody, and welcome back to the Ken's Log channel. Today I am showing you how to clean a Super Nintendo controller. Now this Super Nintendo controller I chose because it's got a lot of dirt kind of on the top surface, and then it's kind of dirty on the back side. But it's also dirty on the sides, and I'm going to have to take a green pad and kind of buff that stuff out. This side especially, if I can get video of that. But first steps first, go ahead and untangle your cord if it's tangled. And you want to do that while this is still in complete condition, or before you take it apart. You want to untangle the cord because you'll just put a lot of stress on the little cords on the inside if you don't do it now. The thing you want to do is make sure you have everything you need first. So you got a bowl of water with a little bit of dish soap in it. That's for the plastic pieces. 2 paper towels. I use Clorox wipes for the cord, but follow the instructions on that. You can use any kind of wipe as long as it's got some sort of soap on it, I guess. And then a Phillips screwdriver, small head for the screws. So I've already unscrewed 4 of the screws, and I have a little place I keep my screws. Came with my screwdriver pack, but let me take off the last one here. You kind of be gentle when you're taking the screws out. These things are old, fragile. Be careful. So that is the last screw. I'm going to go ahead and pull the back off here. Get that screw out and put it in there. And then this whole back piece, make sure none of this stuff is connected to it, and then go ahead and set it in the soapy water. And then the next part is there's going to be the right and left buttons right here. Go ahead and take those off. There's a pin holding each of those in. Go ahead and take the pin out, put it with your screws, and then same with the other side. And then you're going to have these 2 buttons. Button touchers is what they are. Just go ahead and set those in here as well. And then take the cord. You're going to remove that first, get it out of it's kind of a zigzag shape right here. Remove it out of there, kind of remember how it goes in there, and then pull the whole board out. Okay? You want to gingerly set that aside, make sure nothing's attached to it. Set that aside right next to where you're working there. And then you're going to have 3 pads here. Go ahead and take those off and set those inside your little screw base too. And then you're going to have everything else here is plastic, so all 4 buttons and the D-pad, go ahead and pop those right into the water there. And then the top faceplate, put that in the water too. So we're going to let that soak, and then I'm going to show you how I clean the cord and the rubber pad button pads. I use one of these wipes here. So once you get one of those wipes, you want to take it over the sink and squeeze out all the liquid out of it as much as you can. And then take one of your paper towels, put it inside there, and then squeeze it some more. Get some more of that liquid out of there. Kind of dry it out. So once you have that dried out, take it, put to the side real quick, grab your control board here, and if you want to, you can do this. If not, you can kind of move it around like this, but you can disconnect right here. And it's kind of a pain. But you can disconnect right there and set your control pad aside. That way you can clean your cord better. But as far as cleaning the control board, I don't really recommend doing anything with that. I mean, if there's some buildup on there, yeah, use this kind of dryish sheet to clean it. But anyway, I just hold on to the top there, go up and down the cord, and I'm checking for any imperfection. There's a little one right there. It's a nick, it's no big deal. and you just keep wiping it until it comes back clean, wrapping your hand around it. And just wipe out the end, get any buildup or dust out of there. Go ahead and verify you've cleaned it to your best. All the gunk's off of that. And then reconnect it back to your control board. And set that back aside. All right, now with your kind of wettest, driest towel, take these rubber pieces and just clean them out. If there's any buildup in there, just make sure and get it out. There's usually at least dust, you know, some sort of buildup over the years. So get that all cleaned out. These I noticed on the board that the Start and Select had some buildup on it, so I had to wipe that off the board. And I noticed that this had quite a bit more buildup on it too. And as far as the screws, if the screws are rusty on the top, which sometimes happens and I don't know why, you can actually take that green pad. Let me show you a green pad I keep talking to you about. That's a green Brillo pad. It's you know, you can buy them at any supermarket. But yeah, if there's a rusted one, I don't think there is one in here. Maybe a little bit. See, just do that, and they buff right up. Clean that up for you. Another little tip. But anyway, with the rest of the plastic, go over to the sink and make sure you got your strainer in there, so you don't accidentally drop one of the little buttons down the disposal. That would be bad. So make sure your strainer's in there, and go ahead and get all the dirt and everything off of them, and then come back here with the same, you know, bowl, but just with water in it, not soap. Little tip while cleaning the backside in the sink. When you're cleaning the holes here, you know, you might find it difficult. Just use a Q-tip. Clean the inside of the holes there. Cleans them really nice. Just a little tip. Okay, now that you've taken all your plastic parts to the sink and cleaned them, go ahead and put them back into the tub of water here. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of inspect our work. Now, in my case, I'm going to need this green pad because I know there's spots on here that just didn't come clean with the soap and water, because, you know, it's just been played so much. So, I wonder if I can zoom in a bit here. There we go. Okay, now the entire face of this is kind of plagued with a brown, so I'm just going to lightly go over it with the green pad, and hopefully it removes it. And if it doesn't remove that light brown, which looks like it kind of has, looks better. go over it a little bit harder, but not too hard, because you'll start wearing off the Super Nintendo stuff and this sticker here, and start and select and think you're just trying to get that layer of whatever it is off of there. Now on the sides of this one, I don't know if you, no, there's no good light. Anyway, there's some kind of dark spots here that didn't come off in the wash, so I'm just going to hit them lightly with this till they come off. And they're gone. Okay, gone on that side. Check the bottom. Bottom looks good. Now there's a corner here that's got some scuffs on it, and then dirt kind of builds up inside the scuff. So just kind of go at that till it's clean. Kind of round off the scuff is what you're doing. Getting all that dirt out of there. There we go. Same with this part up here. But you just want to apply as little pressure as possible when using this green pad, because you will take off plastic and, you know, whatever glue or whatever they're using to hold this stuff on. So get the rough parts. There's a little part there that needed it. You know, and just look all the way around. So that's good. I'm going to say that one's good. I got everything I could. Now the bottom of this thing is going to need quite a bit of work. And this is why you have the other paper towel, is to set the other stuff on. So this is going to need work on both sides, I know. So I'm going to start with this side. You just go at it as hard and light as you need to, and all the little dings and everything that are holding that dirt in. Kind of round them off. So you have the water there, so you're not confusing, you know, the same dirt over and over. Okay, and they're right there on both sides. Needs it. And then this side. Alright, and that's clean. So, and then the only other thing that might need it is the left and right. If you see something that just won't come off of there, hit it with the green pad real quick, but normally you can get everything off of those. But I wouldn't say I have never had to use it on them. So those two are good. And then normally the buttons are good, but I've even had to use the D-pad or the green pad on that. The D-pad on the green pad. The D-pad or the green pad on these. Just inspect them. Make sure they look all good. No dirt. No stains or anything like that. They do. This D-pad, sometimes it gets really dirty. I'm just kind of just doing a make sure on it. And underneath. Alright, so all done with that. And then wind it back up here. I think I got my little pan dirty there. Or not dirty, but wet. But now, as far as this plastic and everything goes, put these buttons bottom down so they get soaked up by the paper towel. But I always let them dry overnight, and I never shy away from doing that. You know, I just put it in a spot in my house where it's not going to get, you know, somebody's not going to mess with it, which nobody would anyway. But I always let them dry overnight, and then I always make sure before putting it back together, I make sure it's all nice and dry. So make sure everything's nice and dry before you even continue to the next step, which is reassembly. And I will see you then. Okay, so it's been about actually 2 days since I took apart this thing and cleaned it all up, but let's go ahead and get back to reassembly. We're going to go ahead and deal with the front part face down. Okay, and go ahead and put your D-pad in, and then your buttons. They only go in one way, so you can't mess this up. There's a slot on each of them, and there's a slot on each of these. So you just kind of match those up. This one goes here. This one goes right here. Oops. This one goes right there. This one goes here. Just make sure they fall through so you got them on the right spot. And then you put your start and select button in. And then you go ahead and put your pad covers on. And those are pretty universal. I think they can go either way, I'm not sure, but got to make sure that this is set in correctly. And it'll kind of the rubber part will go around a little hole right here on this side and a little hole right here on this side. And then this one only goes one way because there's only one hole. But face down like that. And then it goes over this right here. Does it go over? No, it goes over this one. Excuse me, I'm trying to show you the wrong way. It goes over this one right here. Just like that. Okay, and then you put your control board back on. Okay, now it's on like that. You want to kind of hold it down with your thumb there. These two button pushers is what I call them. Put those back in there like that. And like that. And now, when you do this part, it's a little bit difficult. Make sure you're putting this is face down, remember, so the left goes on your right, so it's just opposite. The left goes on the right and the right goes on the left when you're putting this back together. But you want to make sure and get it on the inside of the case, the button here on the inside of the case, and you put the pin back in. So that side's in. Okay, on this side is also in. Okay, and remember how I told you, remember how this wire went? Put it back the way, remember it going, just like that. Okay, and while kind of all holding it in. Now make sure these two little side circuit boards are both pushed down all the way. And you can go ahead and put your back piece on. Go ahead and let your thumb off gingerly. Put this on. Kind of hoping everything stays together on the inside. Just place that back on. And it did. I've done this a couple times so I know how to do it, but just be sure with all the connections. You know, make sure there's no gap here. You know, everything is seamless, because if you try to screw it in when there's a gap there, it could break something on the inside, and then you're not going to have any Super Nintendo fun, or whatever controller you're working on. But anyway, just replace the 5 screws and you are ready to rock and roll. I hope this video was informative to you, and if you found it useful, please like this video and subscribe if you like my channel. Talk to you guys later.